Hi everyone, Country Peplano here, the internet's busiest music nerd. And it is time for a review of the new Various Artists compilation, Southern Family. This is a Various Artists compilation of a myriad of different singers across the contemporary alternative country spectrum. All produced by Mr. Dave Cobb. You might have heard his production before on that last Sturgill Simpson record. I know a lot of modern country fans enjoy that record quite a bit. So if you're looking for, more of an organic, a rootsier country sound, then I think you're going to like what this compilation has to offer. And with Dave Cobb kind of masterminding this whole thing, being at the helm of this whole thing, he's there to guide the sound of every single track. So even though you're getting a bunch of different artists across this compilation, the sound really ties together from one track to the next. There's no song that really sticks out as being vastly different from all the others. It's a fluidly cohesive project, which is pretty surprising because usually various artist compilations, they're not that at all. They don't feel like they're crafted to be listened to in kind of the album sort of context. They're usually all over the place. No, not the case. On this project, it's like Dave is the coach and every musician on here is like a team player. So as I said, a lot of different artists on this thing, 12 to be exact, who all bring 12 different songs. And this compilation is a very beautiful blend of country music, some folk rock, a few soul, like southern soul vibes coming through on a couple tracks, a splash of gospel as well. And the production is smooth. It's definitely not the old, dusty, rickety country sound that we once knew, but it's also not the pristine, sanitized, slick, ultra-commercial sound that has chased so many people away from country music since the late 90s and the early 2000s. Each song on this track really feels like it has its own personality to it, and the instrumentation, the guitars, the pianos, the pedal steel, the bass, they're all very dynamic. They're all very well mixed. There's a lot of breathing room in this mix, and each voice on this record is given a really intimate spot in the mix too. The performances are pretty organic. Think along the lines of like Bruce Springsteen's Seeger sessions, maybe not quite that in the moment, as occasionally it sounds like Dave Cobb might bring in like a string section or something that could have been added later. And it's not just that each track comes with its own singer and its own mood, but also its own story too. On the song God is a Working Man, we have a tale of religion and family and belief. Our protagonist here is singing about his family's Pentecostal background and how some of those rituals, including snakes at points, would sort of weird him out, make him question religion, make him see religion as this crazy thing. But then he finds his, own sort of way of believing, his own sort of faith in God. And he portrays God as this deity that works hard for mankind in the way that his father and grandfather worked hard as everyday working men. It's a really sweet and endearing song, and even more endearing is the song Down Home, where again we have a tale of family and home, kids running around, loved ones. It's just a nice, gentle, warm hug of a track with some saloon-style piano embellishments to add a little bit of instrumental flavor that I like a lot. And it seems like the tracks just get more and more precious. So we have the song Grandma's Garden, where the garden is essentially a metaphor for the family that the grandmother in this track raised. The instrumentation on the verses is so gentle, and the way that it blossoms on the chorus, it's like the sound just hits you like the wonderful aroma of good home cooking. Deeper into the track, our singer tells a tale of being brought to tears, having to say some words about his grandmother at her church that she had gone to for like 60 years, I imagine after she had passed away and they were having a wake. I guess with the title of this thing, Southern Family, you have to anticipate that so many of the tracks on this thing are oriented around family. That theme continues on the song Mama's Table with Jamey Johnson. He easily has the most weathered and worn voice on the entire project. Think, maybe a little bit of Willie Nelson influence in his singing. And the whole track is about his mother's father's table as a meeting place, a place where family history is made. Not only good times, but also, him talking about his brother going crazy, carving his name or initials into the mom's table. And he talks about over the years how much wear and tear the table has seen, and while that table is beat up, there's also a lot of memories around that table. And the song Learning with Anderson East, I love the story on this track as well, talking about being raised by his dad, talking about going out with his father, having these experiences with his dad as he was a kid, and essentially these experiences culminating into his manhood, learning how to be a man from his father. And this track, as I previously mentioned, is one of the songs that kind of brings that Southern soul flavor that I didn't totally anticipate from this compilation. Think a little bit of Booker T and the MGs, especially with that, very high-pitched church organ thrown into the mix. The song Can You Come Over is another big instrumental production in the mix over here, with the background vocals, the female background vocals that are just hollering, they're loud, they're passionate, the harmonica, the funky bass line, the track just whomps on this groove. I don't know, it sort of reminds me of the Rolling Stones a little bit, but I know it's not pulling from that totally. It's got a rootsier, more aged feel than that. I just like that Cobb saw fit to work this big instrumental presentation toward the back end of the record to really, save some of the best instrumental bits for last. Now, there are certainly a few lows in the track listing here, but they're not so low that they're tracks that I would skip or that I think are terrible. Just tracks that to me pale in comparison to others. There is the track Settle Down, which, while it's another endearing track, it's just so short in comparison to the other cuts. I felt like it could have been fleshed out a little bit more. And what could have been shortened a tad, I think, is the 6-minute rendition of You Are My Sunshine by Morgan Stapleton. You Are My Sunshine being a track that we're all very well familiar with at this point, and it is a very slow, trudging, but passionate version of the song. And while I don't think their rendition is bad, it's just the 6-minute length is a little excessive, especially among all these tracks that to me are superior and far more original. Now, of course, the compilation is not without its tear-jerkers as well. There is the track Simple Song that kicks off the entire project, which it's got a very modern tear in your beer vibe to it. I'm surprised that the compilation kicked off with such a sad tune. And then the track I Cried from Brandy Clark. Her vocals on this track are heartbreaking. She channeled a little bit of Patsy Cline on this track, I think, and it came out so good. It's cool that, a few just gut punches were thrown into the mix here, because so much of the track listing here is generally so soulful, so warm, so hopeful, which, don't get me wrong, that's great. I think it's part of the charm of this compilation. But, also there's some nice emotional diversity to this thing as well. You have your easygoing tracks, you have your slow ballads, and, you have your tub thumpers that just have a really great groove, lots of loud instrumentation, lots of passion, lots of fire. While this compilation isn't perfect, I think it's a really good comp, and I hope that this collection of tracks here sort of sparks a new trend in country to go back to rootsier instrumentation like this. Really bring country back to what makes the genre so fantastic. The singers, the songs, the stories, and, the sound of good organic instrumentation. I'm feeling a strong 7 to a light 8 on this compilation. Transition. Have you given this compilation a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? You the best, you the best. What should I review next? Hit the like if you like. Please subscribe, or you'll die. Various artists, Southern family, forever.